Hello, scamming scammers. I want to share with you my story as a victim of online fraud. Due to the COVID-19 situation, I was forced to stay at home with my abusing partner and his family. Things got very out of control one day, and I had to leave my job, my life, and everything behind to move to my home country in Latin America. As I'm writing this, I'm still recovering from the whole situation. One day, while adapting to my new life, I received a friend request from what appeared to be a stable, mature, and good gentleman. He said he was originally from China, but had lived all of his life in Australia and had studied in the UK. He asked me how I was and if we could be friends. As I have very few friends here, I accepted the invitation and we got to know each other more. We began conversing in WhatsApp. He told me that he was working on an oil rig, which my dad had also worked at for many years. He told me his wife and his only child had died in a car accident 4 years ago, and he was, like me in a way, a bit lonely in the world. Soon after, he confessed he was ready to move forward and he was looking for a special lady to enjoy life with. He said he felt a unique attraction and undeniable connection towards me, and I was very flattered. He started to become very romantic and would send me good morning and good night long messages explaining that all he needed was love, trust, and respect from his future wife, me. He also told me that after his contract ended, he would receive an astonishing 7 million euros for the project, which I found very odd as I thought engineers were paid a salary, not millions for their work. He told me that he wanted to come see me and my family for Christmas. I felt it would be wonderful and invited him to come spend the holidays with us. But I'm very glad that I did not give him my address, only the name of the nearest airport, and told him to please stay for a few nights at a hotel before I introduced him to my family. And so we began to count down the days. I never sent him any inappropriate photos. I never told him about my financial status. Much of our conversations revolved around love, family, and how much he wanted to meet. He explained that video chat was extremely forbidden due to an accident that once he said happened in 2017 and other times he said happened in 2018. So I began to have a bit of a doubt. One day I was looking for videos on YouTube about how the life of an oil rig worker is. I wanted to know more about his day-to-day and see how it really was. To my luck, in the suggestions section I found Scamming Scammers videos and began binge watching. I learned a lot. That often scammers say that they work on oil rigs, they are widows, they will receive large sums of money, they can't video chat or call, and lastly, they ask for money. I was a bit shocked about this information. I never knew this happened. I learned that they are clever and are flexible in finding ways to scam. I never learned that the lady who committed suicide due to scammers' pressure was endured. I began to question if this sweet man was really who he says he was. I did a reverse image search, and the pictures he sent me did not have a match. I decided not to confront him and to continue to play along with his game. He said I have him good luck in his work and that very soon we could be together to buy a house together. Soon after, he explained to me that he was very worried as one of his machines was not working. I told him not to worry, that I would pray and it will be fixed. He stated that if it was not fixed, he would end up in jail. I told him that's very odd to agree to a contract that could potentially lead oneself into incarceration, but nevertheless, I hoped and prayed his machine would be fixed. He went missing for about 2 days. I sent him messages to please update me and that I was worried about him. As expected, when he came back, he had an urgent request. He said the machine was unfixable and he needed a new one. I said I was the only one in the world that could help him, and that I needed to send him 8,000 euros to a bank account in Turkey. I told him to send me the account details and I would send it first thing in the morning. The following day, I knew with the account details I had a real person and traceable information. I sent the information to the police. I reported it to Facebook and Google, and I wrote a letter to the Turkish embassy. I'm still waiting for a reply and follow-ups, especially from the police. I understand, though, that I might not ever know who the person is. and if he or she was ever caught. I have since blocked him, but I am sometimes nervous if he seeks for revenge. Maybe he is angry at me for not having sent the money. I worry that he might come to my home country and find me. I worry that he might hurt me and my family. And I feel very nervous at night if I hear noises. This has definitely left me hurting. I wonder if I had not stumbled upon Scamming Scammers or YouTube videos about scammers, if he had chosen to say that he had another profession, or if he had said that he wasn't a widow. If I did not do any research, if this had happened to me a few years ago when I was more vulnerable, or if I'd been more generous, then I would have no doubt, and maybe I would still be believing him. I feel lucky that I did not send any money, but I regret that I did send pictures. I regret that I did devote my time and care to this fraudster. This dream life that these scammers offer is not worth the pain we endure in having them in our lives. In one of our conversations, I told him I value my claim at life and I manage to have now, and that I've left my ex. I am building my freedom again and self-worth, and no man can force me or do that for me. Now I remember this more than ever. One thing I know for sure is that if I have given him money, he would continue to extort me. I also know he never cared about me. All he cared was for himself and getting money out of me. And it's true what the experts say. Don't believe anyone that says they love you too fast, especially if they've never ever seen you or met you in person. And the golden rule, never send money to a stranger, or gift cards either. I want to add, learn to love your life and yourself, not to fall for these fantasies, and be more careful and cynical. If someone is worthwhile, they will make the effort to meet you in person and won't ask you for money or anything. I am disappointed about this whole situation, but I do believe that there is someone good for me out there who I will meet when the time is right. There are bad people, but there are also good people in the world. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for educating us about scammers. I hope nobody gets scammed anymore. And I hope justice finds these terrible people who continue to do this. And we'd like to thank this lady for sharing her story. If you have a story that you'd like to share as your encounter with an online romance scammer or other type of scammer, you can find us on Facebook under the page Scamming Scammers Action. You can also drop us an email, scammingscammers@gmail.com, and we will narrate your story into a future video. Just give us permission to do so. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.